Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Myesis here, and I'm going to go over the average value of a function with you. Hold on, let me drink some water. Yep, got to get some water before I go over this video with you. So let's talk about the average value. You know what? Let me make this a little bit bigger here so we can see it. So let's talk about the average value here and discuss what exactly is the average value. The average value of a function represents the average height. So that's, in between A and B, there's an average height that's somewhere kind of like in the middle, right? Somewhere in the middle, some y value that's somewhere around here, right? So this average value from here to here, this height, we can figure that out by looking at this. See, basically this area here cancels out with this area here. And so the area of this rectangle right here, area of this rectangle, is going to be equal to the area of the under the curve. The area, this whole area under the curve, because see, we can like cancel these guys out. So basically, here's what we have. We have the average value, all right, f average, times so this is the height of the rectangle, times the length of that rectangle. So basically, okay, well, let me go back for just a second here. Let me go back just a second here. So here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the area of that rectangle is going to be equal to the area under the curve. Man, I cannot write. I was writing, the last video I did was on a Surface Pro, and I write very nice with that Surface Pro, and I do not write nice with this little MobiPad that I have here. So the area of the rectangle is the average value of that function times the distance from A to B, and that's going to be equal to the area under the curve from A to B of f of x dx. So then I'm just going to solve for my average value. F average is equal to the area under the curve divided by B minus A. So this is kind of how we find it. This is what it means. It means it's the average height on this curve from A to B. But this is the formula that you're just going to have to memorize. All right. So here I have in the next slide here, I have the average value formula. The average value on an interval from A to B is the integral from A to B. Definite integral from A to B, that's the area of the region divided by the width of the region, and that's going to give you the average height of that function between that region A and B. Now it's got to be a continuous function. So let's take a look at an example. So find the average value of f of x equals x cubed minus x on the interval from 0 to 2 without using a calculator. So the average value is the integral from 0 to 2 of x cubed minus x dx divided by 2 minus 0. All right, this isn't that difficult, guys. It's just remembering that formula. It's going to be kind of the most difficult thing you have to do. 1/4 x to the 4th minus 1/2 x squared. Oops. Evaluated from 0 to 2. Okay, so we're going to evaluate that antiderivative from 0 to 2 using the first fundamental theorem of calculus. And we're going to have 1/2 times, we plug in the 2 in there, we're going to have 4 minus 2, and then 0 in there is just going to give me 0. So my answer here is going to be 1. So the average value between 0 and 2 is 1. Let's look at the next example. Let's use our calculator now to find c, such that in the interval 0 to 2, f of c is equal to the average value. Okay, so f of c is equal to c cubed minus c, and that's going to be equal to 1, because that's what we're trying to find here. So I'm going to convert this to c cubed minus c minus 1 equal to 0, so I can convert it into a polynomial. So I'm going to solve this polynomial in my calculator, and I'm going to use a TI Inspire to do this. Okay, So now if you have a TI Nspire cast, you can just say solve c cubed minus c minus 1 equals 0, comma c, and it'll give you the answer. If you don't have a TI Nspire cast, you just have a TI Nspire. We're going to go, so we're using a calculator screen. We're going to hit menu, algebra, polynomial tools, find roots of a polynomial. This is a third degree polynomial. I'm going to find its real roots. So what is my coefficient of x cubed? In this case, it's 1. What's my coefficient of x squared? I don't have one, so that's 0. Or I guess the coefficient is 0. I do have one, it's 0. What's the coefficient of x? That's the c coefficient. That's negative 1. And the last coefficient, my constant, is also negative 1. Let me make sure I'm right here. C cubed minus c minus 1. C cubed minus c minus 1. Okay, hit OK. And hit enter. And we get 1.3247. We're going to take 3 decimal places here, so 1.325. So we got 1.325 is our answer for this. And boom, there you go, guys. Average value of a function.